So the real question is, did Lil Uzi Vert actually fall off? And man, I just wanted to say Lil Uzi Vert's one of my favorite artists of all time, and it's not even close, man. But one thing I do want to say, Lil Uzi Vert did end up dropping 3 new singles, and I can't even lie, man. Lil Uzi Vert is 3 for 3 with these new singles, man. And these new singles by Lil Uzi Vert is called Regular, Relevant, and Chanel Boy. They're all really good songs in my opinion, man. And if I were to rank them, it's definitely hard, man. But realistically, the funny thing is, every single song that he's dropped, I like a little bit better than the last one. All of them are high quality Lil Uzi Vert tracks. But if I were to rank it, it would be Regular, number 1, number 2, Relevant, number 3, Chanel Boy. So now let's just talk about how Eternal Atake 2 potentially aged badly to most listeners. I do think the project is a little bit underrated. Like if this was any other artist other than Lil Uzi Vert, any other like underground artist, I think they would have just been like, this project is actually not too bad. So we're just gonna go to the track list right here and just kind of go through track by track. We go to track We Good. I like this one a lot. I gave it probably an 8 out of 10 for the Uzi track. Lightyear, probably about a 7 out of 10. Meteor Man, probably like a 6. Pars to Mars, maybe like a 4. The Rush, for whatever reason, Rush, I did kind of enjoy when I first heard it. I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but it really grew on me. Not Option was kind of a mid song. She Stank was a catchy song, but not the best Uzi song. Mr. Child was probably the best song on the project. Lift 'Em Up was a good rapping performance by Uzi. Just the mix going on just seemed very muddy. Chips and Dip was a pretty good song. I liked Black Hole. Chill Bay was a really good pop song. Godyard song, you know, it sounded like a really bad Young Thug impression song, you know, influence sounding song. Perky Sex, this one was a song that I liked just because it was just super catchy. Conceited was alright, and Space High I thought was garbage. You know, some people say the project aged badly, some people say it aged really well. Meteor Man sounds like a ripoff of Ken Carson, even though Ken Carson, in my opinion, is for sure a Lil Uzi Vert clone in some sense, you know what I mean? Very influenced by the different pockets and stuff like that, I'll say. If we go to some of Lil Uzi Vert's numbers, it hasn't been the best as of late. You know, Eternal Take 2 sold 59k first week, which isn't the best numbers for Lil Uzi Vert, you know what I mean? Like Lil Uzi Vert, the Pink Tape sold 165k, which are pretty good numbers just off the cuff of selling about 140 something, I believe, 140 or 120 with Pluto, Baby Pluto. I could be wrong. I'm fix it up in the editing here, man. But you know, Baby Pluto and Pluto was a pretty decent project, but that was kind of the downhill kind of vibe of Uzi ever since that project. Because the Pink Tape was alright to me. It was just so cool. It wasn't my favorite of the year. I think it was my top 10 for sure. Eternal Take wasn't necessarily it. I still enjoyed it because Uzi's my goat, but you know, just wasn't up to par to some of the Uzi projects we had before. Eternal Take sold 288k first week, and those are pretty solid numbers. But let's just go to the numbers right now for his most recent singles, and we'll go to the music video. So Regular is sitting at 582 with recording this video, 582k. Relevance at 1.4 million in 9 days, which is really respectable numbers. And Chanel Boys at 2 million in 10 days, respectable numbers. So Uzi still has a really core audience. It's just that he really switched directions, and him switching directions like that is just very interesting. Like, you know, like you can't be making the same song over and over again. So that's kind of why I respected Pink Tape for what it was. Eternal Take 2, I really felt like it was him kind of doing the sounds that he wanted to make, just tracks that he wanted to make. Because even in the 2023 era of leaks, he just had so many insane leaks, man. But what I do want to say is that the reason people think Lil Uzi Vert has fell off is it's pretty plain and simple. Eternal Take was not what people really wanted the sound to be for Lil Uzi Vert, man. This simply wasn't the sound people were looking for. The Pink Tape was cool to most listeners, right? There was a lot of grails and, you know, like from leaked tracks and stuff like that, you know. But he did a lot of rock song covers. He did his version of a Playboi Carti kind of metal trap sounding song, which I think were fire songs, but it's just not Lil Uzi Vert, you know what I mean? It's just not the Uzi Vert a lot of the fans fell in love with. So it just kind of made people a little bit confused what's going on with Lil Uzi Vert. He wasn't dropping as consistently. Yeah, Eternal Take just felt like a throwaway album to get off of Atlantic Records. I do kind of feel like it's an excuse because I think a lot of those songs that he made on Eternal Take 2 were quality, but it's just compared to his previous work before, the quality level was just so much lower, if you know what I'm saying. So pretty much my final verdict is, do you think Lil Uzi Vert will ever be able to make a classic project again? And that goes just to say, let's just go to classic projects by Lil Uzi Vert, projects that I consider classics in Lil Uzi Vert's discography. Obviously, I think number one, for sure, that's a classic, is Love Is Rage 2, one of my favorite albums of all time. I would say Lil Uzi Vert vs. the World is a classic, and I would say Eternal Atake is a classic too. Just a whole bundle of things. The deluxe version, like Lil Uzi Vert vs. the World 2. I think those two in general, just everything put together for that. But that whole time period is just a classic in general. So I think Lil Uzi Vert has three classics: Lil Uzi Vert vs. the World, Eternal Atake, and Love Is Rage 2. Do I think Lil Uzi Vert can make another classic? I think if you listen to his 800 or so leaks, however many leaks he's dropped this year, just proves that, you know, he still has it in him to potentially make a classic project. He just has to get a good executive producer, and I think the best executive producer that would be perfect for that role would potentially be Taz Taylor. Just look at the way that he's been crafting all of Internet Money's projects, Lil Tecca projects, Rich and Mari's last two projects just been very good, just sonically and stuff like that. So I think Lil Uzi Vert should go in the direction of going with Taz Taylor to be his next executive producer, and I think that'll really help him make the project that everybody wants to hear from him in the classic wise. Don't get me wrong, his last three songs that he dropped were insane. I really loved it, but I'd be interested to see what Taz Taylor could do to help Lil Uzi Vert's career. Anyways, do you guys think Lil Uzi Vert's gonna be able to make another classic project? Leave it in the comments. I haven't made a video in a minute now, at least on this channel. Anyways, like this video, subscribe, and thank you for watching. And yeah, be ready for the next one, because I'm gonna be bumping up some more videos coming soon, man. I'm just gonna let it ride out. Just more videos and shit like that. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. Peace out.